So don't forget to follow me on Instagram, High Carb Health. Hit the follow button and click on the green H to see what I get up to. What I eat, what I do, it's all here. You can follow me on what I eat as well. So check it out, guys.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about a really important topic, especially if we're trying to heal from ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. It's what I consider to be the final frontier of healing your body. We can do all the physical work we want, but if we're not going to be focused on our mind, then overall healing takes either much longer than we would have expected, or we never really get to the end result. So the final frontier of healing from IBD is the mind. And so we're going to be talking about a few strategies that I've come up with that make a huge difference into the way we look at our perception of how we view the world, or how we respond to different situations that come up in life. And we know for a fact now that when we are stressed, we're anxious, we're nervous, something's upsetting us, it can affect the way our digestive system behaves. And therefore, the way we work on the mental aspect of how we view life in its entirety can make a big difference in our healing journey. So I think, we've been talking a little bit more on this channel about how the mindset can affect the way your body heals. And so I want to really dig deep into a few different strategies today. But first of all, I just want to talk about an article that I read from Harvard, which talked about the mind-body connection, or the brain digestive connection. And what they were saying is that the way we think can really affect our physical digestive system. So, when we're stressed, we can feel pain. Now, who's ever experienced butterflies when they're about to do something, or give a speech, or do something that's got them a little worried? We sometimes feel that, don't we? Feel something in our gut because we have direct connections to our brain and our colon, for example. And I'm going to link the full article down there for you to read. So if you want to do some further reading, feel free to go and have a browse of that article. So let's get into it. So the final frontier of healing our digestive system is focusing on the things that affect us up in our head. Okay. Now, it doesn't neglect the physical things that you have to do. You must look at other aspects of lifestyle, especially your diet as well. And maybe lifestyle is another video, but in terms of looking at healing our bodies and our digestive system in particular, the mental aspect of it cannot be underestimated. So I'm going to cover off 4 different things that I want you to take note of, and I want you to look at, asking yourself the question, when I get emotionally affected, what is it within me that gets triggered? Okay. Because when we're dealing with our own emotions, it does not matter what someone else does. Okay? We are going to get so many different situations that happen in our lives that we do not like, that we do not want, that we do not expect. But the difference between someone who's a lot calmer and someone who gets really affected or triggered by different situations is how we perceive them. Okay? I'll give you an example. Say you're sitting in a taxi heading to the airport, and it's touch and go as to whether you're going to get that flight, whether you're going to catch that flight, whether you're going to be late. How much control do you have over that situation? You're not driving the car. You've got no control over the traffic that's ahead of you. So how many of us sit there worried or are terrified about whether we're going to miss that plane? And we sit there and we could take half an hour to an hour, depending on how far away the airport is, and we'll just worry ourselves silly when we've got no control over what's going on. So realistically, all that time and energy that we're spending worrying and getting stressed, that's not doing us any good, and it's affecting our digestive system. So here's the first strategy that I want you guys to think of when it comes to how to deal with these emotional or mental issues that we are confronted with. The first one is a lack of self-worth or some form of insecurity that already exists within us. Society is set up to make us feel as though we are not good enough. From the day we are born, we're always being compared. How much is your son or daughter sleeping at night? Are they feeding? Are they walking? Are they crawling? You know, there's so many different things that we're compared to as we get older. We go to school and then we start getting compared with other people in our class, for example. Oh, so-and-so's better at spelling. So-and-so's better at maths. Oh, Johnny got a star today and you didn't, you know. And when we see these things happen to us, it compounds this conditioning that we get to tell us that, you know, maybe I'm not good enough as I am. Maybe, you know, I need to be better at certain things. And it really affects our confidence. And this continues as we get older, as we get into higher levels of education like college and university. There are exams and we have to be better than other people. We need to get higher marks. You know, we're always being compared. Who's better than who? When you're trying to get a job, you have to be better than all the other applicants if you want to get it. And so this feeling of insecurity about ourselves, this feeling of self-worth, is a huge problem. And I can tell you it was a massive problem and still is, you know, a problem for me in my life as well. So a constant evolution and a constant work on is to look at these things and how they affect you. So what can we do about it? Because, you know, it's no fun being not happy with who we are, right? The first thing to realize is that you are perfect exactly how you are. You are enough exactly how you are right at this moment, okay? And the thing that's really important is to be happy with the person that you are, because you're the only person that you spend every second of your life with. So why not make yourself a fun person to be around? Why not be happy? Why get caught up in all the things that we don't like about ourselves? Okay, we can change that. We change our perception about the way we feel about ourselves, and we can choose how we think, how our thoughts are, and we can really make a change in the feeling of who we are as a person, and how we feel about who we are. Okay, so realizing that you're already good enough exactly how you are, having a deep love of who you are is really important. Okay, why not love yourself? You know, you can love other people, but the first thing is to love yourself. It's hard to do anything for somebody else if you're not happy with who you are, if you don't love yourself. Okay, so realize that and keep working on that to kind of find out why it is that there are certain things that you don't like about yourself, and then try to rectify that. Okay, and the best way to do it with any of these strategies is to, when something affects you, when something triggers you emotionally, look within. Ask yourself, what is it about that situation that triggered me? Or what is it within me that triggered me? Okay, because it's not about the other person, it's about us, it's about you. And it doesn't matter what anyone says to you, it doesn't matter what anyone does to you, if we don't resolve the issues within us, then we're going to see all these little things, because we don't see those issues or problems if they don't already exist within us. Everybody who you meet is a mirror of yourself. You're projecting onto them. Okay? And that's really important to understand. So work on yourself, because trying to blame other people is not going to get you the solution that you're looking for. You want to get that self-confidence, that understanding that I'm already good enough just as I am and that I love myself. Okay? The second strategy that I want to discuss with you today is illogical fears. So how many of us are caught up in worries and are stressed about things that could happen in the future but will never actually happen? Me. Okay. I used to do this a lot, and I've been working really hard on these things over the last couple of years, especially because I know it affects my happiness, and I can guarantee you it affects yours too. And so what I want to discuss with you today is that how can we deal with these illogical fears that we have that may never happen? I'll give you a good example of this. The first one is flying. So many people are petrified of getting into an airplane. When we look at the stats, getting into a car is much more dangerous than sitting in an airplane. So in terms of what's safer, it's actually an illogical fear for someone who's comfortable getting in a car at any time to be petrified of flying. But we can understand why that happens, right? It's not in our hands. We don't have the control of the situation. And so in our own lives, there may be hundreds of hypothetical situations that could happen in our future. But how many of them are ever going to come true? So the tip here is to focus on what's in front of you right now. Don't think about the 100 different things that could happen. Don't worry about all the different bridges that you got to cross. Cross the bridge that's facing you at this particular moment, and you only have to deal with that right now. And that's all you should be putting your attention on. Everything else is an illogical fear. It's a worry. It's something that could happen, but majority of the time it doesn't happen. The third strategy I want to talk about is a failure to please. Now, we all have these people in our lives. These people who we go out of our way to make happy at the expense of ourselves. Okay? We will do things for these people that no matter how hard we try, they're never happy with us. They're never happy with what we do. They're never happy with our achievements. And we keep thinking, if only this person would appreciate me. If only this person would appreciate what I've done. If only this person sees what I've been able to do or what I do for them. Okay? It doesn't matter who this person is, whether they're your parents or your husband, wife or partner, siblings, colleagues. It doesn't matter who these people are. What we need to realize is it's not about them. Okay? It's about us. And this kind of links back to those insecurities that I was talking about earlier. But we need to realize that we've got to put ourselves first. And it might sound a little selfish to think like that, but if we're doing things for somebody else because it's that person and we don't really want to do it, is it something that's going to make us happy? And what we find is that when we gain a bit of self-respect, especially when it comes to certain people in our lives, and sometimes it may take you saying, no, I'm not going to do that right now, and that's going to be like a line in the sand kind of situation where you realize that I'm worth it and I'll do something within reason when I feel like I need to do that. Okay? And so when we recognize these people, we need to also realize that when do we do things where we go out of our way and we don't really have to just because it's that person, and we can make some changes accordingly to do those things. Because if it was somebody else and they made some request or you just did all these things for them, you probably wouldn't do it if it was other people around you. Okay, but for those people we do it, and we just have to identify who they are and make those changes accordingly. The fourth and final strategy that I want you guys to be aware of is our expectations. Now, this is one of the most important things, and this is why I've left it to the end, is because our expectations can be crippling. Okay. Now, I know a lot of the people that follow us are dealing or trying to heal their body from some form of dis-ease, and therefore we have certain expectations as to how our body is going to heal. We have certain expectations. It has to happen in this order. It's going to happen like this. I'm going to have the perfect story. I'm going to go through exactly how, I want it to happen. And these expectations we hold, but it doesn't always work out like that. So, one of the things about having expectations is that when we have expectations, we hold on to what we want. And with expectations, I'm going to point you to something very important and something that I've been studying probably for the last 10 years. It's called the law of attraction. And the law of attraction states that, where our thoughts and emotions are focused, that's what we attract into our lives. And this is true for everything. Okay, our health, our financial security, our relationships, all of the things that happen in our work life, all the things that are happening to us, we've created a particular situation where we are now. And so our thoughts and emotions in the past have created our situation now, and our thoughts and emotions now help to create our future. But when we have expectations that it needs to be done in a particular way, this is when we hold ourselves back from kind of achieving what we want to. Okay, because when we have these expectations, we are saying that it needs to happen exactly how I want it to, and we're not going with the flow of life. Okay, we're trying to swim upstream, we're trying to go against the current. And what we need to do is have our intentions, this is what I want, and the best way to get that to happen for you is to let go of any expectations of it coming true. Now, that's so hard to do, but if we don't let it go, the intention doesn't go out into the world and to enable to manifest. Okay, so the key thing with our expectations is not to have any. And that's really hard to do, but I can guarantee you it makes a big difference when you let go of those expectations and you just focus on what you want and don't focus on how you're going to get there. Okay, we can have our goals, but we don't need to know every single step of the way. For example, if you're going to be driving between two different cities, maybe they're a few hundred kilometers apart, do you know every single corner on the road? You don't. You tackle each corner as you get to it. It's the same for all of your goals, whether they be health related, financial, or whatever it is. For all of your goals, tackle the obstacle that's in front of you right now and just go one by one by one. You're climbing a set of stairs, you need to climb all of them. And so that's just the way it works with your expectations as well. So these 4 strategies, if you can focus in on yourself, dealing with the situations that are going on within you, I can tell you, because it's had a huge impact on my life, it's had a huge impact on a lot of our clients, the people that are able to make the changes within themselves notice big differences in the way their body heals. Okay, so I want you to focus on that as well and really try and make a big difference on what's going on up here, because changing your perception up there can change the body's perception of how the gut works. Okay, and to kind of explain it to you in physical means is, if we aren't focused up here, if we're stressed and anxious and nervous and upset, then our body doesn't digest our food properly. When our body doesn't digest our food, what do we get? We get some rotting and putrefaction in our bowels. What happens when we get rotting and putrefaction? We release toxins into our body, and this creates disease inside of us. Okay, so focus on your mind, focus on your body and your mind, eat a healthy plant-based diet, focus on being happy, focus on being in a state of peace and contentment, and watch the changes happens in your body. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you found that video useful, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, and the little bell notification will give you more updates and emails on future videos from High Carb Health. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.